Hello and welcome. This is our instructional video on how to install the Fleet Manager Lite in your vehicle. First off, I'm going to go over everything that comes in the box. First off, you have your wire loom. This supplies power, of course, everything necessary to make the unit run. And over here you have the actual unit itself, right here, that you're going to be plugging in. You have your GPS antenna. You have also your GSM antenna that connects to the cellular network. Okay, and first off, before any installation, we definitely recommend that you take out the battery from the vehicle before connecting anything to not blow any fuses or harm the device. Now, starting with the wire loom, this is very simple to put in. You have your red wire, your yellow, and your black. Black is ground, so you can put that on any ground bolt in the vehicle, for which that you can also then include, that could be any part of the frame basically that's going to be a negative ground. And then of course you have your main power wire, excuse me. This goes straight to the battery or anything that has constant power. Okay, and then you have your ignition wire. Okay, this ignition wire is going to be anything that connects to the vehicle when the key is set to run the car. So if the engine is running, anything that's powered at that moment, you can use a wire off of that to run power to this wire, so that way the unit knows when the vehicle is on. Okay, now once you have this all connected up, then you go ahead and plug this into the unit. There's a little port here, very simple. And then of course you have your antenna, both the antennas that are going to be used. Now, the GSM antenna is the one here on the right, and the GPS antenna is here on the left. You'll notice that the cellular antenna, or GSM, has a bolt that screws on right here. And then the GPS antenna simply just gets put into the little hole right there and snaps in with a little bit of pressure. Okay? Now, as far as the installation goes, we always recommend you put this in a safe, secure location where it's not going to get wet, where it's in, well, let's see, well, for example, let me stop right there and we'll continue, edit right there. Okay, now as far as installation goes, you want a safe and secure location, somewhere that's going to be away from any type of moisture, or where the item will be loose or even visible, if you definitely don't want anyone knowing that it's in there. So the best part about this is that it's so small, you can actually fit it right behind your gauge cluster. So that's also one of the easiest things to remove on most dashboards. So if you can get to your gauges, it's usually a unit that has the RPM and the speedometer and all the other items in there. You just kind of pull that one out. You can actually shove that unit behind there with the two antennas, zip tie it in or place it in any way that you can, and then put the gauge cluster back in. That will prevent anyone from putting something on top of the dashboard, because there's usually a hump there that could block the signal, because the signal does go through plastic and glass for the GPS satellite. It will not go through steel. So if there's a metal plate anywhere where you're installing, you're going to probably have a little bit of a problem getting a signal out. That's not just our device, it's just with any device that relies on a GPS satellite. So again, glass, plastic, okay. And usually the dashboard is made out of plastic for safety reasons, so that's a perfect spot to put it under. Go ahead. Alright, this is what the device looks like when it's powered up. When you first reconnect the battery, this light will begin blinking, and then it will begin to acquire its signals. Once it does, from both antennas, usually takes about 10 minutes, it'll begin blinking. Both of these will begin blinking, and you'll know that the device is functioning. After that, give us a call and we'll verify that we can see it on the network.